Hi, Professor Richardson here. I want to talk about the big, huge group study project that you're going to do for BCS555. First thing, click right here where it says course outline, and that'll tell you from the official course outline that this group project and presentation class is worth 25%. So that's a big chunk of change. For the details about the assignment, you simply click here where it says group project. This takes you to this page. Now, here is an explanation of what you need to do. This is going to be done in groups of probably 3 or 4, possibly 5 people in the class. And basically what you do is you pick a case. You can either pick an ethnic newspaper or a theme bar restaurant or a specialty record shop. And each one of these situations has e-commerce things that they need. For example, the ethnic newspaper would be able to have an online portion at which people could submit letters to the editor, or there could be additional photos of event. The theme bar restaurant wants to have a website so they can attract more customers, put up their menu, have pictures of celebrities. The specialty record shop wants to be able to sell some product online, as well as letting people sample music. There's all kinds of things that these scenarios would need a website for, and you have to use your imagination to expand upon that. It's probably recommended that if you're doing a theme bar restaurant that you actually go to one. Or if you're going to do the ethnic newspaper, you go and talk to some people that run an ethnic newspaper and say, listen, do you have a website? What are some of the problems? So the concept is that as I teach you things throughout the course, that you apply them into the context of a real scenario. So when I'm teaching you things in class, for example, about domain name registration here, or I'm teaching you things about search engine ranking, or privacy issues, or mobile wireless commerce, or goal objectives, that you apply them into the context of your case study. The way that you start off with this scenario is by picking one of these cases. So if you picked, for example, the theme bar restaurant, you start off on the very first page of your report. This is very important that you know this, and everybody does this for their group project. You take that paragraph and put that on the very first page, because I need to know which case study you're doing. Now here's the cool part. You can amend this. So you can change this from this is a place on Yonge Street to Richmond Street. And when you do that, then you highlight this in red so that I know the difference. They are not a franchise, but do have a sister establishment out in Scarborough. And one in Markham. So you can put in additional points based upon what you might know in real life or what you think would help make your case exciting. And you can add in additional things here. Sometimes very famous people come to this establishment at the time of the Toronto International Film Festival and taste of the Danforth. So if you put that in, then you obviously would want to have a location on the Danforth as well. So you put these things in, and that becomes the scenario within which you do your case, right? Now, let's look at some other details. First of all, you search for additional information which could help understand the case, and you add that in. And you have to put that in red font, okay? Don't spend an excessive amount of time on the website part of this scenario. It's only for a method of presenting the information to me. You can either present this information by using videos, or you can talk about it in class with written things. You can do whatever thing you want. The final report, though, is going to be a written document according to these recommendations that I give you on the tips page. So let's go back here to the BCS page and go down here where it says, sorry, on the main page here, where it says tips, right there, tips. And on this tips page, you'll see points about class participation mark, late assignments, email protocol, reading newspaper, And you'll also find in here tips for producing excellent written reports. You should read that before you start doing your BCS report. And also using mature language in reports. And if you're going to do a presentation, which everybody is in 555, this is a fantastic page here about some tips on making really good kick-ass presentations. So you should go through that and read what I said about appearance, points about talking, a little video here with an example, points about coordinating each other in the group, about delivering your content, speaking well, engaging the audience. You have to interact and engage with your audience, ask questions, get them involved in the topic. There's many examples here. You got to respect the other people. If you are watching the presentation as a student, you can't get up and leave after your group went and tell me, oh, I've got to go to work early. If you do, you're going to get 0 for that part of the presentation. Because the way that I've structured this is you're not just learning from me in the course, you're also learning from the other students that make these presentations. So if you're not in attendance to hear the other presentations, that's a bad thing. Now, in addition, also have time considerations, and a lot of people are going to probably put together a YouTube video. Here's some points about that. And lastly, leave me with the impression that you learned something useful and interesting. If you want to get an A on this presentation, you have to do very, very well. So those are the presentation tips part. Let's go back to BCS555 page. All the things that I teach you in this semester, you're going to work into your scenario. So when I teach you about registering a domain name and things about that, you're going to write a section in your report on domain name considerations for the theme bar restaurant. When I talk to you about search engine ranking, you're going to write specific things you do to increase the search engine ranking for the restaurant. For example, if I talk about identity theft or security or scams, you'll work those into your ethnic newspaper. For example, you might even say that the ethnic newspaper is going to have articles telling people in the community how to avoid scams and identity thefts. When we talk about things to be convincing about and goals and objectives, you're going to have a goal for the ethnic newspaper. And what are the objectives that the website is going to accomplish within that corporate goal? If you got a theme bar restaurant, what's the purpose of the bar? To be the largest bar in Toronto? To have the most customers? Whatever that goal is, how does the website serve an objective which leads to that goal? So that's why it's important to pay attention in that class. So all the things that I teach you are worked in. You got benefits and limitations, things that the website can do and things that it can't do. You've also got the section on business models. How are you making money? Is the website contributing to making money? And you've also got things to be convincing about. There's a long list of points in here that you should use in the context of your case study project. Right? I hope that that's helpful.